Hey mamas, welcome back to the Tuckered Mama Podcast. This is where we keep it real about motherhood, business, and building a life we love right here in our community. Today's Mom Spotlight is extra special because we're featuring a local mom who is a fellow mom right here of two in Decatur. She is building a business that so many of us need in this season of life right now. Something quick, something easy, something that makes us feel a little bit more put together. She is the face behind Color Street, a DIY nail polish solution that actually fits into our mom life. Yes, I'm talking about quick application, no dry time, something you can literally do during nap time. We're diving into her journey of motherhood, how she got started in her business, what it really looks like to balance it all, and of course, how she's helping busy moms like us feel a little bit more like ourselves again. And if you're local, and you're going to love this because we will both be at Tucker Day, May 2nd. That is this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4. Please stop by. We would love to meet you in person. We'd love to connect. You can shop both of our booths and you can support local moms like us who are here to build up the mom community and meet you and say hi. So please stop by. Now, let's get right into this episode, everybody. Let's welcome our mom spotlight today. This is Amy right here. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hey, doing well.
All right. So I thought we would dive into a couple of questions to kind of get to know you a little bit before we start talking about Color Street and what that even is. So can you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been in Decatur?
Sure. So I am actually sixth generation Floridian. So born and raised in South Florida. Moved up to Georgia at 13 and lived in South Georgia for a little while. Did college at Georgia State. So I've been up in the Atlanta area since '06. Then met my now husband while I was in college, and I've been here ever since. We used to live out in Loganville, but now we're here in Decatur since 2018, doing a renovation on a house. So really putting roots down in the school district here.
Yes, it's such a great area. I've been seeing the progress over Facebook. Your house is looking amazing. I mean, you guys really like the whole top. Yeah. Y'all don't know, but she knocked off the whole top of her roof and is building a second floor, right?
Yes, and about a, about half of the original first story is being redone as well. So
When is the
yeah,
like projected date to be moved back in and start living there again?
we're hoping this summer, so that we're not moving in the middle of a school year again. That was a little
Do
tough.
you have to switch schools because of it?
No, we're still in the same school district, but we moved into a rental in September, and just having to organize all that while you're doing all the school stuff is just a lot. So we'd rather do it over the summer.
Yeah. You guys just want to be back home, right?
We are completely ready to be back home, for sure.
All right. So how old are your kids and like what are their personalities like?
Man, so my oldest is 12, makes me feel really old. He looks just like his dad. He acts just like me. Sick, low like patience tolerance, but super, super smart. He actually does travel hockey. So we travel 9 months out of the year with him typically to go anywhere from Lexington to Birmingham and Memphis and back over to the Carolinas. So full Southeast. Um, yep. Then my youngest is a girl. She's almost 10 and like 2 weeks, which is crazy to think. But she looks like my mini me and she acts just like my husband. A little quiet and reserved, but takes everything in, very witty and funny. And kind of just does her own thing type thing. She's super into horses. My family raises horses, and so she's been into that, and we will hopefully start showing this year. So full plate.
So they're like two, so they're like a little over 2 years apart.
Yes. So I think it's 2 years, 3 months or something. Yeah.
So you
So
had them like back to back.
close. It was pretty good. I'm one of six. So the four younger ones of us were 18 months apart each. So I knew that I wanted it kind
Oh
of
my
around the
gosh, your
2 year
mom.
mark. I
So
know. Can you
many of
imagine?
you under two. Oh my gosh.
Talk about super mom. She was it. So,
Seriously. I just think like the older generation, like it was so different. Like we live in such a rushed life now that it's like,
right.
how can you even keep up with all of that? I mean, but I would love to like have more kids, but oh my gosh, keeping up with all of that. Like was two always y'all's plan?
Um, yes, we didn't want to be outnumbered. And it's really easy because like my husband and daughter, when we travel, they'll go off and do their thing. So let's just say Disney. They like the smaller rides. They go do the princesses, all that thing. While my son and I, we go and do all the roller coasters. So we kind of split up and then we'll meet up, you know, on certain things for if a ride my son can do with my husband type thing. But it works really well because we're not outnumbered and we can give them undivided attention. Whereas, the more you have, the more chaotic it is. We're both a touch OCD, so having that control was
Yeah.
was kind of in the plan.
Yeah, my friend speaking of roller coasters always jokes because she's about to have her third. I'm actually having her on next week, and she's in her third trimester, due on Mother's Day. Like any day now, she could have this baby, and she's like,
Goodness.
"Well, if you have three, you have to have four because the roller coasters have to be even. Like we have to have enough two, two, two." And I'm like, "That's not a reason to have a fourth baby."
I don't know. Being from a large family, I think my mom always said after three, it just kind of didn't really matter. But going from that two to three was a big step. So,
I came from a really big family too. Both of my parents divorced, or my parents divorced and both remarried, and then they had more kids. So I'm the oldest of seven, and like I love having a big family. So what is
it
it?
definitely, there's always somebody to lean on, right?
Yes, and
So,
it's like I feel like I got that kind of motherly instinct with them because I am so much older than a lot of them that like they all feel like my babies and they're just close to my heart.
oh,
So what does a typical day look like right now for you? Like, are you dropping the kids off at school and going straight to work? And are you working from home or the rental now? And
yeah.
what all do you do in a day?
I work from home. I'm a full-time accountant for a corporation. No taxes for me. Um, both kids go to school. So my son broke his ankle Valentine's Day. So he's not able to walk or bike to school like he typically would. So we're having him drive him in and home, which takes up a bunch of time. Um, the rental we're in, my daughter gets to walk to school because we're literally next door. And which is really, really nice because she has a pretty early start time. And then after school is horseback riding and clubs. My son's in junior beta, as well as a whole bunch of other things with musical stuff. Um, and then I'm also managing the project of the house. So I don't really have a typical day. My work day is pretty flexible. So I'm constantly being called away and doing other things. I love working from home because I have the flexibility to be able to attend the school stuff. And we all know Maycember is coming up. So this is, the busy time for parents and being in the schools. So, yeah.
Was teaching him is like, okay, crunch time. The last 2 weeks are like so hectic, but you're also like, let's get it done and get out of here. Like, let's be done.
Yes, for sure.
So, what's your favorite thing you would say about being a mom of two? Like, now that they're older, like, do you miss the toddler phase? Do you miss the
No,
baby phase? No.
no, not at all.
Are they like
Um,
little best friends now because they're like actual little humans now?
they're fun. Yes. So, I've never been a baby person. I actually didn't know if I wanted my own kids for a little while. I wouldn't change anything we planned these. They're what I want. I would love them anyways. But so the baby stage was a little hard for me. But I love seeing their personalities come out. And it's kind of a joke. It's like 30 years difference between my husband and my son, and then from my daughter and I. So it's kind of one of those things where we're like, oh, it's a 30-year difference because my son might say something exactly like my husband would do or something like that. And so seeing our different personalities come out within the kids and having them, my son being 12, going through puberty, it's really hard and emotional, but you can have those moments of you see his maturity and how he handles things and thinks things through. And it's real rewarding as a parent to see that your parenting is getting through to them. But it's also really difficult. Every day is a new challenge. Everybody says toddler years are hard, but I think every stage is hard. You just have different hardness. So
nice of you, like, and to have for him to have you as that comfort and your husband, like, be able to come to you, like, that's so important. Like, teaching your kids like the proper way to like handle their emotions and go through this puberty stage, which is such a big part of
yes,
it. Awkward, uncomfortable, like you want someone to lean on, and like I hope that my kids have that, feel that way about me, like your kids do with you.
right.
And that gives me hope, like excited. I feel like, so my son looks just like me, and the firstborn has to come out looking just like your spouse because then they know it's their kid. But so my second born, he looks just like me, and I feel like his personality is very quiet and reserved, like you said. Even though me and my husband are very outgoing, but my daughter, she's the roller coaster rider. She's crazy. We went to the fair the other day, and she was on all of them, and my son was like, like I don't know about that. So he's a little bit more reserved. So it's fun to hear your side of these older kids, like what I have to look forward to.
It's every stage is a challenge, but it's so fun to see their personalities come out and the maturity start and the brain really working in more of an adult way. So
What is one thing about motherhood so far that's like been so surprising to you?
this one's a hard one. Being one of 6, having 15 nieces and nephews, I've always been around kids. So that type of thing, I'm sure you can relate. It wasn't a surprise having the kids around and all. The one thing that surprises me the most is how much I sound like my mom. And like growing up, your whatever your rules and environment were, and then you have for your kids, I see so much of my mom and what I say and do and how I act and treat the kids and stuff. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, you feel like your own person. You're like, I'm never going to do that, or I don't want to be like that. And then you're like, oh, I am just like my mom.
Yeah. Like
But we have the choice. Say it again.
I feel like I catch myself doing that too. Like some of my actions I'm taking, or the things that I take them to do. Like we love Piedmont Park, and that's where I grew up. Like Piedmont Park and Chastain Park over downtown Buckhead and Midtown. I'm like, these are memories that I want to recreate because they were so special
Right.
to me.
Yes. Yeah. So, and sometimes my kids call me out on it. So I grew up pretty sheltered within a religious community, and we didn't watch certain shows or movies or what have you, anything that wasn't real. So, no dragons, no Harry Potter magic or anything like that. And the kids have called me out on it sometimes on, well, why? That doesn't make sense. Like, I know it's not real, but it's still entertaining. And so it really makes me reevaluate myself and my beliefs and what I think is important or not. So they'll definitely put you in your place.
Yes, and same thing with me. Like I catch myself, Lacey did not watch one single movie. She's 3.5 now, but she didn't watch one single movie until she turned 2. And I was so like, we're not doing that. Like, I don't want her, I want her to be creative and go to the toys and choose this over TV. And now I'm like, listen, sit down and watch this movie and be still for a minute. And I'm like, okay. I judged my dad like growing up, like we always, and that was our bonding time. That's just how he did things, like that's just how we
Yep.
bonded. Watched movies together and shows. My brother and him watched Saturday morning cartoons when they released. Like I remember watching Avatar and all that stuff when it came out. And now I'm just like, you know what? This is good. Like I need a break for a minute. So I can see where
We have to learn to give ourselves grace, and you need your moments to that quiet and the reflection and what have you, and it's okay to change rules. But it's definitely, us as moms are really hard on ourselves, and we're really judgmental on ourselves, and we just have to remember everything in moderation. So
are you like wake up and you got to have your coffee first before you start your day, or you just like dive right into the day and you're just go go go?
100% have to have coffee. I'm usually drinking it as I'm driving to drop my son off to school type thing. Now, that cup of coffee, typically, if I'm not driving him to school, will last me until like lunchtime because I get so into things, but I really need that first sip just to get me going.
I have not drank coffee like I did since my daughter was born, because when I was pregnant with her, you can't have the caffeine, can't have the caffeine, air quotes, everybody. And I was so strict about it. Like I even limited on how much chocolate I could have. I was crazy when I was pregnant. I was like, there's chocolate,
Yeah.
there's caffeine in chocolate. I'm not eating. And I was so, and then I didn't have it for so long. I didn't crave it anymore. And then with my second pregnancy, the doctor was like, listen, you can have 1 cup of coffee a day or 3 sodas. And I love Dr. Pepper. I'm a Dr. Pepper girl. So I would have 3 Dr. Peppers because I was like, oh, I can't give up soda. And then, of course, with the second born, you're like, give me all the deli meat, give me everything. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, the rules kind of go out the door for sure.
Yeah.
I usually do 1 cup. I try to limit myself to 1 cup. And now some days my mug's a little bit bigger than other days. So it's still 1 cup, but the size of the mug matters. But we don't drink a whole lot of soda. So that's about the only caffeine I'm getting. So
My husband drinks like zero sugar, and now I've gotten the Dr. Pepper zero sugar, but we definitely are soda person family, and that's just how we do it. But
yeah.
if I have coffee now, I will not sleep at night because I haven't had it in so long. It like literally like I know my brain won't turn off. Like it's just constantly thinking, and being a mom, you're already like constantly on the go, thinking all the time, making lists mentally all the time, and so I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we got to know our limits, right?
Yeah.
What
All
works
right.
for us.
So let's dive into what is Color Street, and how would you explain that to someone who's never heard of it? Like what's your spiel that you give to everybody? I don't know what Color Street is. Tell me what it is.
Yeah. So Color Street is a social selling company, kind of like Tupperware or Mary Kay. Our flagship product is dry nail polish. So you should be able to see here. These are a little over a week old. And I have one little blemish chip on my thumb because we've been 3D printing and picking at things and what have you. But dry nail polish. So it's a salon quality manicure that'll go on in 15-20 minutes and you can go. No dry time, no smudging, quick and easy product. In the last 3 years, Color Street has expanded into hand and nail care and high quality makeup. So vibrant colors, but still all of our products are supposed to be clean and good for you, moisturizing to your body. And we really pride ourselves on being kind of innovative, revolutionary products and not just putting the same old thing out there in the market.
Okay. I remember when I first met you. So Amy and I actually met at this small little like pool festival that they were doing. I actually saw their flyer that came back there. I won't say what it is, but we met each other at this small little pool festival that we randomly signed up for. And she was right next to me. And I was like, hey, what is this? Like, and I was just so amazed, like all the colors you had, all the options, all the things. And literally before the festival even started, she did my nails. And I was like, it's already done. Like, this is so quick. And it stayed on. I mean, I constantly now I had a baby at the time, but I feel like I'm washing my hands constantly, cleaning up someone's freaking poop. If it's not a person, it's an animal or something. So constantly washing your hands, and it stayed on for so long. Like, what would you
Yep.
say is like the typical last if you weren't busy with your hands all the time, constantly washing, like a bartender or something? Like, who would, like a normal teacher or something?
Yeah.
What would be?
So we say our average time is 2 weeks,
Okay.
10 to 14 days type thing. I go to a senior center once a month, and those ladies get 3 to 4 weeks. Now they're in their 90s. They're not doing a whole bunch, right? They are independent living, so they can be washing dishes and so forth. And anything in between. I personally change mine every week, typically, because I get bored and I'm a nail picker. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. So if anything's on my nails and it's starting to grow out, then I'll start picking at it. And that's one of the worst things you can do. So you can totally be a dishwasher at a restaurant. You can be a manufacturer worker. My sister's works on a cattle farm, and she does it by horseback, and she has tested the product for me and wore it for a week. That's the longest I could get her to wear it, because she's not a girly girl. But it, like, I have pictures before and after, and it looks like there's teeny tiny little bit of tip wear, but nothing major to even speak about. So everything in between, it works with you. The key is, so these nail strips are already 95% dry. When you put them on, it's going to seem like a sticker, but you want that last 5% to kind of, we call it our cure time. And basically what that means is no water or lotion type products for the first hour. Otherwise, you can stop and go change the baby's diaper or make lunch or whatever. If you need to wash your hands, use hand sanitizer and not soap and water.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, let's go into that a little bit, because I remember, so when you go visit Amy to get the color street, she's going to have all these strips for you, and they're going to be bigger than your nail size, because everybody's nails are a different size. So tell us a little bit about like how the application works, and like if the color strip is too big for my nail, like how am I getting that to fit my nail?
Sure. So we sell Color Street as one nail per nail strip. But most of us can get at least 2 nails out of it. And a lot of that depends on the width and the length of your nails. The set comes with 16 different strips. So in that, there's 8 different sizes.
Can you go into a little bit of detail about like what the strip looks like, how it fits into our nail, and like if the strip is too big for my nail, then like how am I getting that to fit I have really skinny nails, so how am I getting that to fit onto my nail?
Sure. So Color Street, with it being 100% polish, it's already 90% dry. So it comes in a package like this, where there's 8 different sizes and there's 2 of each. We sell these to where they fit 1 nail per strip, but most of us can get 2 nails based off the length. So you're guaranteed a full manicure out of this, and I personally get 2 mani-pedis, so that would probably be about the max an adult would be able to get. But basically what you're doing, since they're already 95% dry, you're just putting them on similar to a sticker concept, and then you're using your thumbnail to kind of cut it and then gently peel away to size it down to your nail. On the length, you just kind of tuck it underneath the tip, and that kind of perforates it and it comes right off. So you can size down to any nail. Any of the strips can be used on your fingernails or your toenails. My daughter was 3 when we first started using them, and that totally, tells you how tiny the nails can be. As long as you're trusting of your child, then you use regular polish, you can use these. So it's really pretty cool. We've got anything from solids and glitters on up to designs that are pretty intricate, and The sets range from $14 to $16. So if I'm getting two mani-pedis, I'm getting $7.50 a mani-pedi. Can't beat that, especially for a design like this. Yeah.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, I think a regular manicure, like without all the fixings and whatever, is like $30 to start. Maybe. Like that might be on the cheaper side too.
Yeah.
So totally worth it. And like you said, I was just about to ask you, you said these are for adult nails, but you can use them on children too.
You can, yes.
Okay.
My daughter's been using them since she was 3. She was actually the reason I started the business. So she wanted to go to the nail salon, and I was like, "There's no way that I'm bringing a 3-year-old to the nail salon. Traditional, like wet polish, just wasn't cutting it." And so I actually asked on the moms groups here, and I came up with this, and we tried it, and the rest is kind of history.
I was about
I'm
to
sure we'll go into more in that, but yeah.
Yeah, I was about to start asking you how you got started. But before we get started with that question,
Yeah.
you said you have a lot of different designs. Do you have them for like different seasons? Like, do you have Christmas ones when it's Christmas time, Valentine's Day? Do they offer all of that?
They do. So our holidays, we have all the holidays, and we also do a foundation set for probably about 6 to 9 months out of the year. So we just had a mental health set come out, and uh, autism set came out. So these sets are to raise awareness for whatever we're promoting. And we also donate money. The Color Street Foundation donates money back to certain foundations or associations that have been fully vetted to make sure that the money is going to good use. And then you can raise awareness by wearing the set on your nails, whether it means something to you or somebody close to you, or you're just raising awareness to help the cause.
Okay.
So it seems like these days we have a launch almost every week, a launch or a promotion. But I actually did just see that May is going to be our military awareness. And so we'll be launching that set this week. And it's a patriotic looking set. So I won't have it at Tucker Days, but it will definitely be out on the website. And so to speak, like my brother's in the military. So it's just raising awareness and showing the support for the military people as well as their families, because it's a big thing for the family as well. But the holidays, man, I can't think of a holiday that we don't have. Like we do St. Patrick's Day, we do Valentine's Day, there's Easter, Patriotic just came out. The biggest one, surprisingly, is Halloween. People absolutely love Halloween nails, and we actually have glow in the dark ones that typically come out too. So they're always fun.
Yes, I remember. I was going to say my favorite were the Halloween ones. That's so funny
Yes.
you said that, because I got the pumpkin ones and they were so cute with the different faces. And then I think we did get some ghosts, like glow in the dark ones too.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun.
So, like, do you have to order the nails to your the polish to your house, and then you're able to like post it? Like, do you have a personal website? Like, how can people order this from you directly, opposed to like a different Color Street artist or somewhere? Like, how can they find you?
So my website is my company name. It's Nail Your Sparkle with Amy. My name is spelled AIMEE, so it's a little bit different spelling. But if you just go to that website, nailyoursparklewithamy.com, then it has my website on it. It's the Color Street site. We just transferred into Shopify, so there's been a little bit of kinks with making sure your stylist is there and shopping in a party, but I'm sure, post all my information, and I can help you with anything. So you can purchase on the website, but you can also purchase from me in person. I do vendor events, as well as I have a whole bunch of on-hand stock at my house, and I sell out of my home, as well as I can apply for you and teach you how to do it. I've had a couple customers for a few months that will just come by and I just do their nails until they feel comfortable doing it themselves. So,
okay, yeah, that was my next question. I've been to your house a couple times. I took my mom one time to pick out some, and y'all, Amy is great. She like lays it all out on her countertop like a giant charcuterie board of nail polish. It's so nice to look at all the options, and then, like you said, you show people how to do it until they're
yeah,
comfortable. But are there instructions, like if you were to just stop by and like want to try it, but I don't have time to stick around? Are there
for
instructions that
sure. So, actually, on the inside of any of these packages, once you actually open it, I'm not going to open this one because it's still one for sale. But when you open it, there's instructions inside. And if you guys come see us at Tucker Days or get any of my information, then I have a QR code and that links to how-to videos. I have how-to videos on YouTube. They're a little bit dated, but the application process hasn't changed. So you're more than welcome to look me up on there. It's Nail Your Sparkle with Amy. But they are pretty simple to use. It does take a time or two to get comfortable with it just because it's something new, right? Anytime we do something new, it's not going to be comfortable doing it. But it's a quick, easy thing that allows us to feel put together and still be able to function and make time for it and do some self-care.
Yes, I totally agree. I actually have a pack still upstairs. So that reminds me too of my question for you. Like, how long, if I were to not use a pack because I'm doing something that I can't have my nails done for my job or whatever, how long would a pack sitting there last? I know you mentioned, so it comes in like a clear sleeve, and then to seal the sleeve back, you taught me, I hope I'm sharing this right, how to take a hair straightener and like seal it back up, and that keeps
Yep,
it lasting. Does that last like a year, 2 years?
for
Like,
sure. So an unopened pack, Color Street only warranties for like 30 days. But I have used packs that are 5 years old that have been unopened and they go on great. A lot of it, you have to remember that nail polish is temperature finicky. So if it gets really hot, they're going to get hot and sticky. If it gets really cold, they get stiff and kind of unsticky, so not usable to be able to apply. So you really want to be keeping all nail polish, whether it's Color Street or anything else, in a dry, kind of dark place. So like under your bathroom sink is typically fairly dry, that type of thing, in a closet or what have you. But the packets, as long as it's in a temperature controlled area, should last a few good years. That is not warranted. That is at your own risk. And then same as opening up a pack and then resealing it. So you push all the air out. It's a high quality plastic. It's not gonna melt on your hair straightener or any type of sealer that you have, and you just heat seal it back. That's because nail polish dries out when it's exposed to the air. You have about 30 minutes before the polish starts drying in these nail strips. So you do want to heat seal them back. Baggies don't count. And I've used those anywhere from a year, 6 months to a year afterwards. So I have a little makeup bag that I have just the clear plastic. When I put the strips back in and I heat seal it, I put them all in this little makeup bag and I actually store them in my freezer. So it's kind of a little extra tip. You do have to prepare and think ahead in order to take them out to get them to room temperature before you can apply them. But it just helps that seal and keep them nice and fresh. So
how did you learn about all of this? Like, what made you say like, okay, I'm going to do this and accounting at the same time? And did you have to go to like take courses for this, or did you learn like yourself, like me learning from you, another booth person, and like, hey, I think I can get into that, and watching YouTube? Like, were you self-taught? Were there classes? How did it all come to be?
Yeah. So I'm not a nail tech. I have no classes, no official training. I've been doing this for 6 years. I started in January of 2020, and it's really the Color Street stylist community. We We are pretty close knit and we share a lot of information and training. I've done, Google training and research type things, but nothing official or what have you. So take that with a grain of salt. But I have been doing it for 6 years and I've learned a trick or two over the time. So it's just one of those things, trial and error. You learn from others, you information share with the community.
So is this something that like eventually you want to stop accounting and go into this like more full time? Because is this just like a part time thing you're doing right now, or were you considering you have both full time attention?
Yeah. So Color Street started as a fun thing for me personally, because Natalie and my daughter and I were using the nail strips. So we kind of got discounted nails by way of being a stylist. And then it grew into, I can really do this. This is doing really well. I love sharing with people and seeing the oh my goodness factor when they first put them on and see how easy they are. And so it's gone a full circle. It was I signed up for free nails. It went into a side hustle and I actually did quit accounting for a year and try it out. And it was probably one of the worst years in our economy and time to try it. But I did find out a lot about myself and I need the structure of a corporate job and the what's the word I'm looking for? Steadiness of the consistency of in pay. This is an amazing, fun side hustle, but I don't think I could ever do this type of job for my personality as a full-time job. So it is a fun thing for me. When I quit my job and did it full time, it was too stressful to make money and it was forced. I lost the love of it. And I love doing it. I love sharing it and that's kind of why I do it. It's for me. It's not necessarily for the money aspect personally. So having my corporate job with the money and then this for me as a fun thing.
Creative outlet, and I mean
Yes.
you get used to living a certain type of lifestyle too, and then when you like change it up and then you're so like stressed all the time because you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out this new business and if it's going to make it work. And then
Right.
I could see like how you went back, and at least you tried it though and now you know.
Exactly.
So what were like your biggest fears of like starting this in the first place? Like what made you think like, oh, okay, I finally feel comfortable to like post myself online and share with
Yeah.
you guys without like, feeling embarrassed like me, like starting this podcast. I'm like, I don't care who's listening. Doing this because I like this is my creative outlet and I hope that it grows into something and more moms hear about other mom businesses like you and want to support you guys. So what made you
Right.
finally pull the trigger like, okay, I'm gonna really turn this into a side hustle?
Yeah. So I started it as the free nails. So it wasn't thinking, oh, I'm going to do this selling as social media type thing. I think once that swapped for me, my biggest fear was judgment. There's a lot of judgment around social selling companies and multi-level marketing, and which we're not. There's some small differences, but there are differences. And we're not here to talk about that anyways, but the judgment from other people and then whether or not like people would support me if I could do this, if I could put my face out there and, you know, going live on social media or sharing products or talking. I talk to people all the time. So that's not like the vendor events and talking is kind of my little niche. Like talking to a computer screen where you don't see anybody, right? You just feel the judgment and we're our own worst critical aspect on anything. You know, it's one of those things that I had to really give it up and not worry about other people judging me and what they thought about me. And I just had to do me and have fun with it. And just, you're always going to have naysayers and you're always going to have judgment, but you can't let yourself be the most vocal judge of it all. So do what makes you fun.
Yeah.
You have fun.
Like we said, yeah, you got to have that creative outlet. You're a busy
Yes.
mom, and like being a mom doesn't have to be your only title. Like you can have
No,
so many other jobs.
it shouldn't.
Yeah. And we
have to have something for you to be able to give. You have to have something coming in too.
Yeah. And I mean, we already wear so many hats, but like that doesn't have to define us. Like we can create our own hats. We don't always have to be the chef or the maid or, the caretaker, the tear wiper, the butt wiper, whatever. So what right now would you say is like your most popular design? Like do you do mostly, like, I always go for the sparkles, but do you more of like the plain colors with no sparkles, or do you people go for more of the like zebra print, cheetah, like the more actual design patterns?
I think the glitters and shimmers are usually the most popular. Right now, like a metallic look is very popular. So those shimmers are selling pretty hot. You're always going to have your classic people who just want a cream base, the solids with no any type of shimmer glitter in it. I think the best bang for your buck is the designs, because getting a design and that detail oriented at a salon is super expensive, whereas the ombre look, the cat eye out now, there's so many different things out now that are design oriented that Color Street can do well, and it be $15 for a pack. But I think overall, if I was to look at sales, it would be like a glitter or shimmer type look.
And that reminds me too, can you do, now that we're talking about designs, French tips with this? Do you offer that? Or is it like just a white piece that you do part of it? How would you do a French tip?
We have French tips. We have pedicure sets. We have petite sets. The difference is the size and shape of the sets. So pedicures are going to be a little bit wider, more squared off, kind of like our toes are. Petites are going to be very narrow and a little bit shorter. I think actually you wear the petite set, Sammy. And so they're not necessarily kid sets. They are just for smaller nail beds. I have a cousin who she wears the petites as well. She just has narrower, smaller nails. I can wear the petite sets, and I feel like after 6 years of seeing hands, I feel like my nails are kind of average. So I don't get too many petties out of a petite set, but I can totally wear those sets. And I have several that I have worn, and my daughter and I do matching and what have you. The French sets already have a curve in them, and there are little tips and tricks in how to get more than one nail in that curve out of a strip. You can reach out and I can give you those tips if you're interested. But the French sets are actually kind of cool because normally a set comes with 16 strips. The French comes with 32 because it has the curve part and then it has the top coat part. So it's a 2-step process. And just like putting on French for anything, getting your tips the same width is kind of the hardest part. So
I feel like that's like a dated thing too. Like I don't really see many people with the French tips
in. You don't see too many. The angled French or like the V French is kind of the new thing, or the micro, which you can do a micro French with any of the nail strips. Like the V French, what you could do is you just lay the strip sideways. And so you can do the total V, or you can just do the slant or what have you. So it's kind of hard to show it on here, but it's actually the angled one is super popular.
So that would be your most popular, would you say, with the shimmers? And then is that the one like that you would keep in stock mostly? Because like when something sells, do you automatically like replenish it, or do you have two or three of the same color in stock, or you kind of know after doing it for so long, like, okay, these, pastel purples are not selling very well. I'm just going to keep one.
Yeah, you definitely learn your markets. I keep, I actually have 4 boards of glitter shimmers and they're color coded. And I try to keep an array of colors so that people, you never know who's going to stop by your booth or what have you and what they want. I do keep more of the pinks or the reds because that's what my customers tend to like. And when I go to the senior centers, that's what the ladies like. But I typically don't keep more than like 2, maybe 3 of a set just because, and that's only the very popular ones. Because there are a few that are consistently worn. I usually have like maybe one of a whole bunch of different shades of a color versus a whole bunch of like 3 different sets.
And like, as far as the sizes go, you said you mentioned you see so many different hands. Which hand size is the most popular? Like, do you have a lot of petites, or that's your like least bought one?
The regular sets cover most nails. Even if you're having to size down for your petite nails, the petite line, like if you go to the website, we don't have any petites on the website right now. The petite line that I have on hand are all retired sets that I've kept because I do have certain customers who like to wear the petites, and I do like birthday parties for little kids, and some of these petites have really cool designs and they fit those little nails really well. The pedicures, I actually don't sell that many of them, or the French. The classic French I do, but we have a lot of different colored French ones, and I just don't sell a lot of those to my customers personally. But if we're continually putting them out, somebody's got to be buying them, right? So it's just your market and what people might like on that. I've worn just like the regular manicure sets, any can be worn on your toes. Any of the pedicure and petites can be worn on your fingernails, toenails, whatever. It's all the same product. The size is the difference. So there's a particular blue glitter in the pedicure sets that I absolutely love. And I think I've worn 2 or 3 of the packets over the years, and it's always been on my fingernails. So you just make it work.
I was gonna ask you that. So like
Yep.
the nail polish is all the same. So like if I were to do a set and I didn't want to save the other half, I could just put it on my toes and not even worry about resealing it because it's the same, even though it's not meant for like the side, the shape. But you could.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's no extra tools needed. You can just size it down with your thumbnails. The only thing that some people have found that helps is like a cuticle pusher. It kind of, presses it down really well and creates that seam around the edge like your nail would. But some people have really short nails and they may not have like a thumbnail to kind of cut it.
Is Color Street like nationwide, or is this like something in the southeast, or?
No, so we're nationwide. We actually have a pretty good presence in Canada. We went into the European Union, and with the economy like it is and the tariffs that came out, then we have pulled back from them just recently. But I know that the goal is to be worldwide. I don't know when or if that will happen, but that's expansion's definitely in the cards. But North America is kind of where we're at right now.
When did all this Color Street like even start? Like, have you ever met
Sure.
the
I
founder?
have. We have an annual conference, and I've been to every single conference since 2020. That year was a virtual conference because of COVID, but we've been to Orlando and Ohio, and this year we're actually going to home office. It's a little bit smaller scale this year, and that's where the nail strips are made in New Jersey. And so we're going to go and see the production line and see home office, and it'll be really kind of cool. But I've met our founder of Fall Park several times, not only at all the conferences, but we have incentive trips annually. And I've been on, I think, 4 out of the 5 that I was able to earn. And I've met him at all those. So he's really good about, talking to people and meeting people and being the face of the company. And this backstory on the company is really cool. He opened it as a social selling company in 2017. So we are still kind of a baby. So this is our 9th year being open in the social selling world anyways. We're a baby because Mary Kay's been around forever and a day. But it all started when he came over from South Korea and for a musical career in New York City. He saw a lady painting her nails. You paint a layer, you let it dry. You paint a layer, you let it dry. She was in like a town car or something in New York City traffic. And he's like, there's got to be a better way. So he pivoted from music and he taught himself the chemistry behind nail polish and the engineering and built the first machines himself. It took him 30 years to perfect, but nobody else has been able to perfect 100% nail polish product in a dry strip. Revlon, Mary Kay, OPI, none of your big companies have been able to do this. They've all tried to buy it out from him. He won't sell it. It's his baby. It's his legacy. So this is the way that he wants to sell it and promote it. His first company, some people might know in Coco. They had been sold in Ulta's, and that was his first company. So that product, it's no longer sold now, but that product is very, very similar to what Color Street is now on the dry nail polish. So
it's a really interesting story. I was about to be like, yeah. When you first said him, I was thinking,
yep.
I do.
Yep. And he's still very involved in the company. He 100% owns it. There's no shareholders or what have you. So, the stylist, but he's the guy. So it's really kind of cool. Yeah, that's a really cool story. See a problem and be able to be persistent over 30 years to solve it.
Yes. Okay, so thank you for sharing all of that. But let's get back into a little bit of mom life. How is it balancing all of this? Like, how is your support at home with your family, your husband? When you have to go to these booth sales and you sign up for these events, the booth and the spot costs money. So it's not like you can just be like, oh, my husband's sick today. I can't. Like, do you have family around? Like, have you had to forfeit any booth sales before?
Yes. Man, in 2022, I had a personal head injury and I couldn't do any of my events during the holiday season. So I had to, luckily I have sister stylists locally that I was able to pawn off my events to. So I have the support of local Color Street stylists in that sense. My husband's amazing. He may not fully understand everything I do, but he supports me. And that support often looks like he takes care of the house or the kids or whatever needs to happen while I go and do these vendor events. And in the ebbs and flows of my Color Street career, then it's kind of, been a lot at sometimes. And now we're kind of 6 months out of the year. I might have one event a month type thing. I do have in-laws close, and so they help as needed as well. But my kids are a little bit older now and they help in the company. So I have them stuffing mailers, putting stickers on sets. We pre-stuff bags before an event. I was just at Grayson Days yesterday and they both went with me and helped sell and take money and write everything down inventory wise. So it's definitely something I've thought is important with my family is to teach them that the entrepreneur side of everything and that you help as a family unit type thing, where my son's actually doing a little bit of a business on his own now, and he's starting to sell at some of the events with me. So it's proud mom moment when it comes for full circle.
I've been working on all of my bags and my t-shirts and all the things I'm going to be selling at Tucker Day. And my daughter has been down here this whole time. She's 3.5. She's like playing on the drum kit and doing guitar and piano, whatever. But she's down here like, oh, wow, you just peeled that and it's like on the bag now. She's so shocked that this design is on here. And I told my husband, he was like, so what are we going to do with Lacey at Tucker Day? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, she's coming with us. I'm like, I want her to see all this hard work that I've been doing and setting a time, my time for her. I want her to see like where this hard work is going and her to see it in action and people coming up and talking to me. And she's like, so you're going to give this to other mamas? And I'm like, yeah, if they want it, like that's the goal. So, and I'm just like you, like you've got older kids, so it's a little bit easier for you to,
Yeah.
She can't hang out, all the whole 7 hours, but she will be there like the first chunk of it. And then they're going to come back home for a nap and lunch. But yeah, I'm like you, I want them to be involved and we do everything as a family. Like this is your house too. You can put your dishes away. You can rinse off your stuff and help out. And yeah, it's so cool to see. So what is your son doing? Like, tell us about that. Like, I want to know.
Yeah. So he actually, through Christmas money, he was washing cars, birthday money. He has bought himself his own 3D printer and he's printing, right now he's printing a bunch of keychains to sell. But a whole bunch of fidgets and animals and keychains and so forth, and kind of doing his own thing with it and selling the stuff. He buys his own filament. I have bought some filament and we're definitely helping him with things, but he is doing a lot on his own. So super proud of him. I know.
He probably still needs a little bit of guidance, but
right.
So cool for him to want to do that first of all, and then to like, try to figure it out on your own. Like here we are doing all, you go to YouTube for everything.
Yep.
Mom groups like, hey, what is this, answer, and you're Googling stuff. And I've learned so much from YouTube. Like for him to get out there and want to do that, like I hope that both of my kids are like that too and want to.
Right. Take the chance, right? If you enjoy something, then try it out. And, the sky's the limit. You can do anything, but it is hard work. And that's the big thing is, especially with my son, he doesn't like putting in the work. He just wants the benefits. So like yesterday, all day at the event, that was a big, long day for them from 8 to 4. So it's hard for adults, let alone for kids. So it's really teaching them a lot of good qualities for life skills.
Yeah. And just like you just said, the whole aspect of like taking and receiving money and giving back change and like all of these other life skills that he's going to need, and to budget, to save up for that big,
exactly,
all the things. And at just 12, like, I mean, we need to go there. Is there like a junior sharks? We need to go on junior sharks.
The next step, I think, is going to be like setting him up a bank account and trying to have him understand the concepts with credit cards and debit cards and that type of thing, where you have to be within your budget and you can't spend more than what you got.
So. Yeah, and you can't just be, he doesn't have a purse, but you can't just be leaving your purse around. And then people, like my daughter Lacey, she wanted these sunglasses so bad, and finally we got them for her. They were like $3, but we got them for her, and she was so proud to have them because I always wear sunglasses when we're outside. She set them down at the playground, and I told her, like, leave your glasses in the car. Like, I don't want to lose them, or give them to me. And she didn't. She set them down, and sure enough, some little kid came by and scooped them up, and she was heartbroken. And I'm like, that was like the last pair that they had at that store. And I'm like, oh my God. But there you go. Life lesson. Like,
life lesson.
Yep. Yeah, it was a hard.
Not everything works out how we want it to. So.
Yeah. And for a 3-year-old to like understand, like, someone just took my stuff. It was really hard for me to explain that side of people to her. Like, it was hard. You can't be trusting to everybody. So
yeah,
that was hard.
Meanwhile, at the event yesterday, my 12-year-old is very cynical and thinking that people are going to walk away with his stuff. And I was like, you have to be a little bit of trusting. Yeah. Most people are not out to get you.
No, yeah. And most people are just like looking at it and picking it up. And then,
Yeah.
with booth sales, you just kind of smile. I went to Art Tucker yesterday morning before I had to get ready for a concert last night. And there were so many people there. And I just think you and I are so chit chatty and like, hey, how you doing? Come on in. Let me show you what I got. Like salesmen, women. And all of these people were like sitting, and no shame to them if that's how they do it, but they were sitting in a chair behind like all their product that they were selling. And I would just walk by and they would just kind of smile at you. They wouldn't even say hi or anything. I'm like, I would be up and like, hey, come on in. Like, let me see what I got. I made this today and this is how I make this. Even if someone's not buying your $45 mug, like tell them the process of it, like get them interested. And then they're like, oh, wow. Like I can see why that's $45 for one coffee mug. When I saw that yesterday, I was just kind of like, okay, mental note of next week, not one person at the Art Tucker, not to put any shame on them. I love that event, but not one person came up to me as I was walking by and was trying to like actively sell something to me, which walked away with hardly anything from those people. I'm like, you got to put in the work. So
you got to be friendly and get them in and get them looking. Sometimes they're just going to support you just because you are friendly, right?
Yeah.
We had several people. That was one thing I was getting my son is to talk to people and talk about is get out of his comfort zone. It's not normal for humans to get out of their comfort zone, but to get out and talk to people. And so I think he saw that yesterday because there were some people who were buying just because they wanted to support him in his business. So
yeah. And I mean, if I sell a 12-year-old, I don't need a dinosaur keychain, but I might be getting a dinosaur keychain.
But you need a capybara one.
Yeah, exactly. See, I would get a capybara. Yeah. So what
We'll
would
see you on Saturday.
Yeah. So will he be at your booth too, or did you get him like his own?
He is. He's going to be there Saturday with me. So it'll be his second event selling stuff. And I say that second event with 3D printing. This isn't his first thing he's tried. The splatter paint where you did the spin art type thing, he's done those and sold those. And that was probably 4 years ago with me that he did that. So he's definitely tried his different stuff. And we've supported him through it all because I think it's important to have that independence and that learning. But he will be there Saturday with me. So keychains, capybaras, fidgets, maybe some dragons. We'll see what type of time we have to print things. It's going 24/7. So
yeah, I mean, and that's really good, like to know too. And what was I gonna say? Just getting out there and trying new things, like even for adults, like I've had many different businesses. I mean, when you first met me, my business was called Lacey's Corral, and I was way more into like the Western vibe because that's what I liked. And it took me a long time to realize like I need to be appealing to more than just what I think people would like.
right.
And I was just so happy to sell stuff that I liked because if it didn't sell, I was like, oh, I get to keep it. But it's like, that's not the goal. That's not my point. But now I'm starting this whole community. Hopefully, like I wanted to take off at Tuckered Mama and let people know about local stuff. And I want to kind of do like the whole, I don't know if you heard about UGC, but like user generated content, but for local businesses is kind of my end goal, not like my ongoing goal, I guess you would say. But that leads me to my final question for you. I really appreciate you coming on today. What would you say to another mom who is nervous about starting up their own business or taking that leap or finding a creative outlet and letting go of like that mom guilt of not having to hold your baby 23 hours a day and getting 1 hour of sleep? Like, what would you say to someone?
Man, I guess we've kind of danced around it, but it's going to be hard work. You're going to fail. Your product or your company might change several times like you were talking about. But the big thing that you've got to remember is to find your why. Why do you want to do this? For me, it is to have an outlet, right? To have fun, something that is just mine. That has looked different at different times of my career. It has been for money. It has been for the trips. It has been for the friends. So find out why you're wanting to do something, and make sure that every decision that you make comes back to that why and supports it. Because there's a lot of noise out there in the world, and there's, whether that's people or whether that's your squirrel brain, going all over, there's a lot of noise. So make sure that you focus on the why and everything comes back to support that. And, find your people. Your support system is very important to have.
Yes, I agree. Without my husband being here, like my son is napping right now, but he's like with my daughter, my toddler, and then we're having the deck worked on today too. So he's like handling everything upstairs right now so I could come on here and talk to you and making it work. I mean, this is just the crazy kind of, we're in the thick of it right now with two
Yes.
kids under 3.5. I mean, I have a 16-month-old and a 3.5-month-old, and 3.5-year-old, and in the thick of it. But then I'm also like, hey, I want to start doing this now. Can you help me, like, even more so?
Yeah.
Okay. But he's been so supportive. Like, I think having that, rock, that steady rock right there, you got to have support.
And that doesn't have to be your spouse, because I know a lot of people whose spouse doesn't support. That can be a good friend or a family member or a community member. I mean, definitely, cast a wide net on your support system. It doesn't need to be one person even. Tucker, Decatur, we have really good, well-connected communities that I think moms as a whole are very supporting of each other. So definitely, find your group and, nourish that.
Yeah, and 100%. Like, if you're not on these local mom groups, like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but that was so eye-opening to me when I joined all these mom groups, and then you see other people posting similar things that you're feeling, but maybe you didn't post it, and it's like, oh wow, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one thinking like this. That has been like such a relief. And maybe not your spouse, but whoever you're around, your mom, your dad, whoever's closest to you, they're not going to know what you're going through. One, like in 2026, raising a baby, because they raised babies, 20, 30 years ago, times have changed. And like, from male to female, like my dad totally does not understand all the hormones I'm going through. Like,
right.
My sweet husband, he doesn't understand. I was bawling, crying last Sunday for no reason. And he's like, bro, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm fine. I just need a minute. It's just like, I don't even know what's going on.
Sometimes you just got to get it out. It's, one of those things.
Yes. I think just all the stress of like Tucker Day coming up, and like when the babies don't nap on time so you can get stuff done, it's like,
yes,
so stressful. So
yes.
Well, how great was this conversation, everybody? I love having Amy on here. It was awesome. I love highlighting moms like this who are building something not only for themselves, but they're doing this while they're raising babies, because it's not always easy, but it's always very inspiring. I feel very inspired today. I'm looking so forward to Tucker Day, even though we're going to be like a sidewalk away from each other. I looked up where your spot was, but we're both really close to the main stage at the Tuckertown Green. There will be a slide there, and like an organic kind of play area for the kids. So come check that out. Don't forget to check out Main Street, where there's going to be tons more booths. But I was just there for Art Tucker yesterday. The place was packed. I mean, there were people everywhere, and the booths that were set up, there was plenty of space still. Like, bring a camping chair, bring a picnic blanket, all the things. Bring your whole family. Come meet us. Come say hi. We want to see you. We're here to support other moms, and we hope that you can do the same for us. Come support us. And yeah, like I said, make it a family day. If you enjoyed this episode, we would so appreciate it if you would share it with other moms. Be sure to follow us both on social media. We're both on Instagram and Facebook. She is Nail Your Sparkle with Amy, right? On Instagram. Okay.
Yes.
Nail Your Sparkle with Amy on Instagram and Facebook. If you want to order anything from her, reach out to her. Don't be shy. Obviously, you can tell how friendly she is and welcoming to her rental home, her main home, all the things. She'll meet you. Like, she will work with you. If you've got young kids, all of the things. Don't let that hesitate. We want you to feel like yourself again. I know I need to go see her before Tucker Day, get myself a fresh set, because I don't know if my sparkly, shimmery ones are going to hold up. I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I stored them properly. So I'll definitely be sharing my own videos for her of how to apply and following the directions and everything. So be sure to check that out. And if you listen to this episode today, mention it to us both at Tucker Day, and we might have something special waiting for you at our booths. I will be over at the Tuckered Mama booth, and she's going to be at the Color Street booth. And like she said, her son will also be there, so don't forget to support him. And yes, we're so looking forward to it. Thank you, Amy, for coming on today. We really appreciate you sharing all of the history and all of the things. I feel like, I don't know, I just want to tell everybody about this now. Like, it's so awesome, which I do already tell people whenever I meet them, like, and they're getting their nails done. I don't know the last time I even went into a nail salon.
Agreed. Me too. But thank you so much, Sammy. It has been great. I thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity, and I can't wait to see everybody on Saturday at Tucker Days.
Yeah, me too. I'll be there from 9 to 4. Don't forget, I already shared on a couple different stories. There is a parade at the beginning. You don't want to miss the parade, guys. Get there early, find parking. I also wanted to mention the parking. When I was there at Art Tucker, there's so many churches and places around Tucker Day. Even though Main Street is closed, honestly, there's not much parking on Main Street. Most of the parking is at the churches and around. Don't park at the banks because they are open until 12. But other than that, you want to come early. The parade starts right at 9. Don't be late. I would say get there around like 8:30. Find yourself a good spot on Main Street, and then check out Main Street, but then head over to the green space. Like, come see us. We want to meet you. We want to say hi. So I appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you for listening. And until next time, all of you moms out there, you guys are doing an amazing job. Don't be scared to find your creative outlet. As you can see, it's working out well for both of us. So you can do it. We're here to support you. So I always say from one Tuckered Mama, but today it's from two Tuckered Mamas. We'll see you guys on the next episode.